Welcome back to Dave's Garage. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. Normally you see me working on my Versys X300, which is kind of mothballed this week. We're going to be working on a different type of project. And we're going to be working on a Kobalt 3-drawer toolbox or tool cart. I picked one up used. It's in really good shape. Low mileage, I guess I'd call it. I've got it on a couple of dollies right now. We're going to be putting some wheels on this thing. It doesn't come with wheels. I don't think Kobalt even offers any kind of wheel kit. I'm looking at the bottom legs here, and there's no provisions, no holes. These legs are designed or engineered to put wheels on. By now you know me, we're going to fix that. So I've narrowed it down to 4 things I had to buy and one supply here that I had on hand. So to make this work, I have to have some brackets in the corners, and I bought basically the largest one I could find. It's big, but it's beefy, but that's what I need. The idea is these legs, the metal in them is not so great, so I'm going to kind of form a very almost invisible platform around the perimeter and also bolt into the legs, so everything is held stiff in both dimensions, so nothing can twist or rock. The wheels I've chosen are only, I think, 2-inch. In this case, closer to the floor the better. I do not want, it would roll much nicer with 3s, 4s, 5-inch, but because this tool cart isn't really that deep, I don't want it to get unstable front to back. So we're going with small, but this is a little high quality unit. To bolt everything together, I'm playing off the fact that these brackets have an M10 slot. I only needed to buy 2 more things. I didn't have enough M10 bolts. I chose black, nice and party, just to stay with the gloss black theme going on here. And I didn't need to, but I bought black. They're flanged, serrated. These are going to act like a lock nut. The only supply I had to buy was angle iron. And I'll give you a little hint. Angle iron, if you go to like Home Depot, Lowe's, that kind of stuff, it's very expensive, just insanely expensive. You know, $20, $30 for a little 4-foot piece, which in this case I need stuff that's going around all 4 sides of this thing. The takeaway from this video is people are almost giving away bed frames. So people are almost giving away or are giving away bed frames. You can buy bed frames all day long, single, twin, even queen size. I found these that I'm going to show you here. They are free. So in the way of equipment needed to pull this off, these are hex head or Allen style bolts, because they'll kind of blend in a little better. Not that I'm that picky, but hey, when you get to choose whatever you want. So I need a M5 5mm wrench. I need a paint pen so I can mark some metal and stuff, because I'm going to be using an angle grinder, and of course a trusty Craftsman 16-foot. So I've got my Milwaukee toys out here. Got the grinder. I've got PPE. Don't skimp on the PPE. Every time I've skimped on the PPE, it's a mistake. So I've got the heavy leather gloves, glasses, muffs, because this is going to get loud. Then I've got my Milwaukee drill, and I'm going to choose to drill holes using a 3/8 bit, which is super close to 10mm. So there you have it. We're going to get started on this. I'm going to do some measuring. I'm going to be cutting some angle iron. Then I'm going to be kind of forming the in the corners here. I'm going to probably have to follow suit with like what comes with these. I'm going to probably have to angle them so they don't overlap when I get, you know, in the corner, because everything's going to be kind of in and tucked in around those legs. So they'll only stick out the width of this brace. So let's get to it. all the angle iron now has been cut, so I've got 4 pieces and I've got them tucked under the legs, and then over them I have these 4 large braces that I showed you a little earlier. So let's take a look and see what I've got. In each of the 4 corners, a little extra light here, I hope you can see that the angle iron here, angle iron stops right here, right here. I want a little channel, so I angled the bottom of these angle irons so they're left like a little opening here, so I can get to those holes in 45 degree, you know, on all 4 corners. That actually went pretty quick. Another big advantage of these large brackets is that the holes are slotted, so I have you know, a lot of fore and aft movement here. So when I bring this frame, you know, back to this cart, I can, you know, tweak length, width, you know, shorten, lengthen. I think it was a really good choice on those brackets. They're large. It's going to give a lot of support to the wheel when I get to the point where the wheel's coming up from the bottom. So now the drudgery of 16 3/8 holes. Wish me luck. Well, I've changed venues. I'm down in the underground top secret high-tech lab, otherwise known as the junk corner in my basement. We're here because I mentioned earlier about a paint pen. It makes it super easy, you know, to just peck at the metal up there at top. There's my 16 holes. I mentioned that I beveled the corners underneath, you know, that go underneath. You don't have to be precise. These are just, you know, plus or minus whatever, 1/8 of an inch or something. This is just angle iron. So now onto the drill press. I've got it all set up. You know, nothing real fancy. I mean, this is just a Wen. Got myself a little vise sitting on here, 3/8 drill bit, and I think I've got it all set up to go. So now onto the drilling. We are back up in the garage here, and the drilling's all done. Well, I shouldn't say all done. This phase. So I'm test fitting the 4 pieces of angle iron. I've just got it kind of mocked up with my little short bolts and nuts all the way around. Make sure everything fit. I had a couple little tweaks to do, but now this here is going to form essentially, I guess, kind of like a dolly, you know, underneath the bench. I am going to attach this to the bench now because we're going to be drilling through the legs. And I've got, you know, this guy up here with my 3/8 bit. The 3/8 bit is just a tiny bit under a 10 millimeter bolt size. So I just used this, you know, just kind of did one of these little round the circle things. Worked out great. Just took a few minutes. So now we're going to try to test fit underneath the bench. We're going to go ahead and make 1 hole in each of the 4 legs, and then put all the rest, the remaining you know, bolts back in here, tighten them down. Then we have the fun chore of probably setting this thing on its back so I can get the casters on, but I'll show you that here in a minute. We now have the frame completely mounted on the tool cart. All the bolts are in. I drilled the 4 holes through the leg of the sheet metal, so I got that in. 1 bolt per corner, that's good enough. And everything's tightened up. I took the top off here because I'm prepping it. I think I'm gonna have to lay it on its side. This is a manageable unit. It's really not that heavy. So if you ever wanted to put, you know, casters or a frame like this under any unit, it's not a big deal. Oh, by the way, below my video here, I'll have the links and the source and the cost for each of the items that I bought. Angle iron, you should be able to pick up anything that'll work. Did look on Facebook Marketplace. There's just many of them between free, $10, $25, or about $70 in all the parts. You know, you can get away with trying to find a cheaper alternatives, but I wanted to put a little bit of money in the wheels, and the brackets were actually the most expensive item. Yeah, so you couldn't ask for a more simpler solution using those braces or brackets. All the holes are there. I mean, it's just ready to go. I now have the tool cart on its back, and we're going to look at the underneath side here. So this was the goal, was to have a nice framework around the perimeter to actually just add the casters. Now I've got here, just add the casters in here. And if ever I want to take this thing back off, I mean, you just have to loosen up, or remove 4 bolts. The bolt that went into each leg, that one there, this one here, same way in the back. So then just taking 4 of these short little bolts off, you can get this frame off. And here is the finished project. Little casters are on there, just bolt straight up through the frame. This was a pretty simple little project, but it makes a huge difference in mobility. That's going to work out great. I chose small diameter wheels, 2-inch, to keep it close to the ground, and I flipped the top over so it looks brand new now. That's crazy. So anyways, that's Cheap Thrills, and glad you came along. So until the next one, have a good day, and see you then.